This is Rex. He is a motor rickshaw driver in India. This is Rex's wife. And these are their two children, Kezi and Eunice. Today is Saturday, and Rex is dropping off his wife and the girls at Sabbath school. But before we get too far, let's back the story up. One day, Rex's uncle came to visit the family from abroad. One of the first questions Uncle Simon asked was where Kezi and Eunice were going to school. Rex told Uncle Simon that the girls were enrolled in the district school in their neighborhood.
You should put your children in the Adventist school, he said. They will get a higher standard of education and will learn English. That will open doors for them in the future that they cannot have if they study in the local language only.
Rex told Uncle Simon that they were simply too poor to afford the Adventist school. But to the family's surprise, Uncle Simon offered to pay Kezi and Eunice's tuition if they were enrolled.
I agreed to transfer the children to the Adventist school, and they have been there ever since.
The girls are now attending the James Memorial School in the small town of Nazareth, India. The school has been in operation for over 100 years and has grown to more than 900 students and 70 teachers.
My daughters, Eunice and Getsi, wanted to go to the Sabbath school in Saturday. So I took them to the church and attended the service.
Here we are again. Rex is dropping his family off for church and then continuing on to a full day of work as a rickshaw driver.
When we return from the church, we love to tell the father the stories what we learned from the Sabbath school.
Rex would listen to the stories that his children told him. His wife would also share Bible texts she had heard in church, but he wasn't interested in learning more. He had to work on Saturdays. This continued for about a year, until one day, Rex learned about a day of fasting and prayer that the school sponsored one Sunday a month. Because it was Rex's day off, he decided to go.
I was touched by the message I heard that day and realized that it was Bible truth.
The school principal invited Rex to come to church the following week, but Rex hesitated. He didn't think he could afford to take Saturdays off from work.
The principal encouraged me to trust God that He would provide a blessing equal to the amount I would earn on Sabbath if I stopped working and attended church and kept the Sabbath instead.
But Rex was not ready to stop working on Saturdays. A retired pastor came to see Rex and offered to come and visit him each Wednesday during his lunch hour. Every week, they would sit and study the Bible together. Rex's wife was preparing to get baptized and urged him to join her. But Rex wasn't ready. He was addicted to tobacco and alcohol and still hadn't resolved his Sabbath work issues.
I told my wife to go ahead and be baptized. I would follow her later.
Rex's wife urged him to trust God, sharing that God would take care of his alcohol and tobacco habits.
I agreed to be baptized later that year, even though I realized I wasn't ready.
My husband, he could not give up the bad habits, and he could not live with the commitment that he made in the baptism time.
2 months after his baptism, Rex had an accident while lifting his auto rickshaw. He suffered a spinal injury and needed surgery. Doctors warned him that he may never walk again. Months passed, and Rex was confined to his bed. He was unable to attend church, but the pastor and church members would regularly come to him to pray with him.
I started praying that God would forgive me for not being faithful to the vows I had taken at my baptism.
The family finally found a doctor that was willing to operate on Rex's spine for a price that they could afford. After the surgery, as Rex laid in bed, he prayed without ceasing, that God would allow him to work again. Today, Rex can walk again. He has been attending church and rejoicing in the love of God.
I don't work on Sabbath, and we tithe our income faithfully.
Through the school, we came to know the Bible truths we had not known before. Because of God's love and protection, we are living as a good, happy family, and now we are serving God.